Welcome back to this F1 Manager 24 Create a Team Career Mode. This is the pre-season for 2029 off the back of a thrilling 2028 finale that was embroiled with financial scandal. We got fired from Audi and saw out the season from the sidelines. We saw a three-way battle turn to a two-way battle, turning to a last lap. Is that O-Ward going slowly at the final corner? It was decided in the final moments. It was epic. So please go check it out if you haven't already. And I'm so happy we got to see out that season. We saved that corrupted save file, and now we can continue fresh slate in 2029 and hopefully won't have a similar issue in the future. Yeah, now going into 2029, it's time for us to look for a new job. We've been unemployed for quite a few months in game watching those remaining races of 2028, and if you don't know why, here's a little reminder.
Audi Sport has been found guilty of financial fraud.
It's best for me not to be in the top seat anymore here at Audi.
Though he will be a familiar face in the F1 paddock for the remainder of the season.
So we've got a new job to find, but before that, we need to actually wrap up 2028 officially in the game timeline. Now, going into 2029, remember, we have a major technical regulation change. So this is going to hopefully really mix things up. It's a massive shift on every part of the car, and a sporting change, which definitely, it wasn't timed because this was voted on way earlier in 2028 in that season. But funny enough, pole position bonus point, that was something that was factored into Antonelli winning. That is no longer a thing going into next season. So in a weird, funny way, it's almost like, you know, a real life thing of like the FI going like, oh, we didn't like how that ended very much. We're going to change the regulation now just to try and nip that in the bud for next year. Looking back on the season we had, I mean, obviously no surprise why the team marketability at Audi went down a little bit. You know, maybe something to do with a little bit of a financial scandal. So that's no surprise that the title sponsor was a bit disappointed about how things ended that season. I mean, we still did win the Constructors' Championship, but obviously hanging over the head will be the fact that scandal was in place. But in terms of looking over what we accomplished over that season, you know, even if we weren't there for the last bit, Ollie Bearman, third place. I'm still gutted for him, you know, on a personal level. But who knows? I mean, if we play the game long enough into next year, if we're still playing it, if there's still enough interest, maybe there's still a story there somewhere where we could somehow work with Bearman again to try and get him a championship. Pato did amazing. I mean, Pato's a driver where, you know, he's not in the world of real-life Formula 1. We brought him in to this F1 world. And the fact he's coming 6th place in an F1 championship here is crazy. I mean, you know, I think he's a really good driver, but maybe not at the caliber where he's grown to here in the game. You know, he's exceeded expectations, really. You know, doing some, you know, insane bits of racing. At times have been quicker than Bearman, so to get 6th place was really good in that season, I think. I was really happy with him. And of course, the main one was we won a Constructors' Championship. We showed our pedigree as a team principal, winning 2 Constructors' World Championships back-to-back for different teams. You know, despite the financial scandal and the fact we had to leave Audi and sit on the sidelines, I think we've proven ourselves, and hopefully the doors will be open for many opportunities going into this pre-season in terms of what job we're going to take next. It is now time to choose which job we're taking, and as I said, winning 2 back-to-back Constructors' Championships has opened everything up, despite us maybe somewhat being a bit disgraced, having to resign from Audi for the financial fraud. It wasn't my fault, obviously. We weren't the ones cooking the books. I just took responsibility as a team principal should in those situations. So the F1 paddock is forgiven and forgotten, and they're very open to me coming back. They know the pedigree. They know what they're getting, okay? A manager that's going to squeeze out the maximum potential out of any of these teams. Who's it going to be? We've got Audi, Red Bull, Ford, Arab Archer GP. We've got Haas over here, Williams, Aston Martin, Mercedes, Porsche, McLaren, Ferrari. And the last one here is not Alpine. It is Andretti. Yes, going into 2029, Andretti are finally on the F1 grid. They have bought Alpine slot, Alpine, the bosses, the management, everyone, even the drivers maybe not making the most of what I have always called a bit of an illegal Alpine that Flavio Briatore was cooking up. Well, Andretti have decided to come in, buy out the team, and build from scratch. And that is the team and project that I am going to choose going into 2029. It's meant to be the yellow on the Andretti Cadillac. For me, that's a massive throwback to the Motorsport Manager days. It's where I've got the Archer name in Arava Archer GP and Archer Arava, all the names I use in the career modes. You know, if some of you guys were watching me since then, like, you know, absolute years ago now, where we had the Motorsport Manager series, we managed a fake team called Archer GP, and they were yellow. So for me, this is a nice full circle moment in terms of the car colors. But also, I have never like managed or driven for Andretti in any sort of career mode, you know, be it the Codemasters game, Frontier, anything. We've never done it. So I think this is a really good opportunity to dive in. Let's manage the American outfit, Andretti, try and bring the American dream to Formula One. Also, on top of managing Andretti, I'm very excited to manage Charles Leclerc, to be honest. Managing Leclerc, seeing his kind of almost downfall in the series at the start, and then he kind of grew back a little bit with Alpine. Now Andretti, under my management, I think we can turn Leclerc into the world champion that I think he's maybe meant to be at some point in the future. But yeah, 4th or above, obviously long-term objective. Apparently this is a new long-term objective. I guess it means in terms of the year they're targeting, because it seems like their previous year target was 2029, and now it's going to be 2031. So I think, obviously, to be fair, actually this makes a lot of sense with bringing Andretti in. They've bought out Alpine, so of course the new board of directors has a new, you know, goalpost for where they want to achieve this, you know, from where they're starting, which is 2031. Okay, so that's, you know, 3 seasons time. Obviously, I think we can fast track that, but I think it may take at least 2 seasons. I think we're gonna have to do some really big miracle work for it to be straight away this season. But then again, this team last season, known as Alpine, they were kind of in the same position Audi were in when we took them over. Like, they maybe should have had more potential, but they just weren't making the most of it. So maybe we can do that for them, but who knows? Balance-wise, are you joking? Are you joking? Are you what mess have Alpine left us with? Did Andretti know this when they bought the team? I tell you what, he's done it again. He's done it again. One final time in Formula One. Flavio Briatore, he's not only cooked up some sort of illegal Alpine for the last 2 seasons and still not made the most of it into a championship. He's then, as he's left F1 again and sold Alpine to Andretti, he's clearly cooked the books and sold them a dream here, because he's basically unloaded 22 million of debt onto Andretti, i.e. now onto me. Fantastic. You know what? Maybe this is karma for being caught up in a financial fraud of my own in Audi, you know? Audi, the sponsorship team, I always did wonder how on earth we were bringing so much money in. They were cooking the books there, and so to repay the favor, the world has paid me this. We have come to a team that's had their books cooked, but in the wrong direction to not show this debt. Absolutely wonderful. Minus 12. How are we even going to operate with this much debt? I simply cannot understand. Obviously, actually, to be fair, I know the sponsorship money will come in. We need it to be quite a lot now, because minus 22 to whatever figure sponsorship we get is crazy. Please, please, I beg you lot did research. Okay, research on every part, is it? Okay. Oh, no. They did no research on side pods. Oh, for goodness sake. You know, I put that safety car engine into the... Oh my god, it's meant to be. I put the safety car engine into the Alpine for a video recently. We're going to have the same level of performance as that. Drag reduction minus 70%. Just total. Are any of you lot thinking, oh, he's chosen Alpine. They were pretty okay last season. This is not enough of a challenge. I fear we are slowly realizing how cooked this team was operating. Like, honestly, I feel like Andretti should just liquidate this team they've bought and literally start afresh, like from zero. Like, let's pretend like this is a fresh team. What's going on? Sporting regulation. Yeah, there you go. Pole position bonus not there. Fastest lap still there. And obviously the engine allocation is the same. And we've got our first driver transfer reveal. It is Liam Lawson to Andretti. Because, of course, Bottas was alongside Leclerc. I'm guessing he finally retired. That's, you know, for a pick that I had no choice over. Because, obviously, I come to the team after the contract period in the preseason. So this was a signing that was already made. Lawson, that's not a bad pick. You know, there may have been some other interesting ones to try and go for. You know, with the, well, I would say the caliber of where this team was last season. But clearly, funding-wise, maybe they're not in such a great position, or they weren't in such a great position to maybe go out and spend so big. Lawson, obviously, one of the drivers that's very hot right now in real-life Formula 1, just come in for VCARB, done a stellar job, and hopefully will be in real-life Formula 1 for now, for years to come. So this is a very cool opportunity to have Lawson here alongside Leclerc. It's the LL connection. I'm ready. Hopefully that means we're not taking any L's though. Oh god, I'm just, you know what, forget that. Forget I ever said that. That's a horrible nickname for this team. Let's go through the sponsor negotiation, because we need a really good package. We really do. Total funding, I think we have to go for 65 million. Race day engagement is quite high on this one, but minus 22 million. We simply must try and get as much as we can from this funding. So yeah, let's go with the race day package. I think that's a pretty good makeup of different kind of ways to go about the secondary packages. So that's going to be a total funding of 112 million, minus 22, of course, as we confirm it. High performance reliance. So I'm going to be on a massive spotlight for how we do to get the funding we need to continue to hopefully improve this team and get Andretti some heritage in Formula 1. But that means that's got to be a glitch, right? That's a glitch. That's got to be a glitch. What? No. Where has all our money gone? This can't be. You can't be serious. That's got to be a glitch, right? How are we left with 250k? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, no. That's not a glitch. That's not a glitch, because I forgot the sponsor. Yeah, it's 112. It's not all at once. It's only somewhat up front. Oh, no. We are actually so in the mud. We are so in the mud. This is our starting balance. Right, Charles, Liam, it's time to, go on. We're going to go on the public streets and start begging for some money, chaps, okay? It's come to that. More and more as we're getting things popping up. This is seeming like a much harder task than I envisaged. And this is where we're going to go to for this season's challenge. It's a bit of a shorter calendar. It's a 20-race calendar, down from 24. I just felt like at this point of the series, you know, we're many episodes in. Obviously, interest is going to be going slowly down as we go on through the game cycle. I felt like there's no need to put ourselves through 24 races. Let's do 20. I feel like 20 is a very good number. But we're mixing things up. We're actually having a season opener at Las Vegas. Vegas paying the big bucks to Formula 1 to be the season opener in this season. We then go down under for the Australian Grand Prix, then Suzuka, China, and then Qatar for our first 5 races. Then the European portion of the season, a classic duo of Spain to Monaco. Then we go back to Miami for a little breather from the European calendar. Then it's a big run of European races. Imola, Montreal, Silverstone, Austria, Budapest, Monza, Spa, and then we come back to flyaways. We go Singapore, Baku, Bahrain at the end of towards the end of the season, Abu Dhabi, and of course the fan favorite Sao Paulo to end off the season. So we know what drivers we got, what engineers we got. I feel like these are the same engineers that have been here the entire time for this team that used to be Alpine. We got any affiliate drop? Wow, bloody hell. Bloody hell, we've been busy. How many affiliate drivers do we need? Jeez, okay, fair enough. But it's the 2 drivers we care about. And oh, Liam's got good affinity with this engineer. Was he with him before then? He must have been with them before, I guess. That's pretty good then for Lawson's sake. For Leclerc, it'd be great for him to have a bit more affinity with his engineer, but I guess then maybe the engineer's changed over, because I would have expected this to be good if this was the same engineer Leclerc worked with last season, but maybe they, changed a few things around. What's our staff looking like? Right, we've got 85 rated technical chief, only 76 head of air. How? This is why I know Flavio Briatore made some sort of illegal car for this team in the last 2 seasons. How did they cook up such a good car with 76 head of aero? 84 sporting director. That's pretty damn good, actually. Right, I feel like we need to scout head of aero then. I've just realized we can't even do anything. Why am I even talking about hiring head of aero? We have by 251k in the bank account. We can't do anything. We can't do anything. Right, well, that's that. We're going to have to stick with our head of aero for now because we have no money. We are projected to have 10 million by the end of the season. Just liquidate this whole team now. Just do it. I can't even do any upgrade. We can't afford anything. This is actually how much money we have. It's not even a glitch. This is how much money we have. Oh, we're so mudded. We have no money for hiring. Thank God they hired Lawson before we got here. We've got no money for any car upgrades. We're actually in serious trouble. Oh, here we go, though. The team roster update for 2029. At least this will cheer me up. Let's see what 2029 in Formula 1 is looking like in this game. Oh, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Oscar Piastri, who, remember, if you don't remember, he is a 2-time world champion in this alternate timeline of ours, in this save. The 2-time champion goes to the new constructors reigning champs, Audi. I mean, that makes quite a lot of sense, to be fair. Mercedes were absolutely washed last season. That's where he was. So no wonder he wants to leave. He's a driver that deserves more. He's 92 rated still, so he's not lost too much overall being in that rubbish Mercedes. But look at this, though. We haven't even got to it, but the team signing that everyone is talking about is Oliver Bearman. Obviously, he's not here anymore. He's joined Ferrari after a 3-long-year career with Audi. He's on 29 million a year at Ferrari. I think that's a little bit of a pay cut, to be honest, compared to what he was on at Audi, but I mean, he's driving for bloody Ferrari, and you know what? That completes his driver arc. Remember, when we signed him at the start of the game, we were powered by Ferrari engines at AAGP, and the whole story was Ferrari were allowing us their power units in partnership to grow Bearman. Then obviously Bearman left the whole the whole construct, the whole family. He left the Ferrari Academy, he left us, and he went to Audi to drive for them, to lead them. But now he's gone back home. He's gone back to the Scuderia. That's quite lovely. That's quite lovely. But let's talk about this then. Piastri and Audi. That's crazy. That's also sick to see the 2-time champion in the reigning Constructors Champion team. Pourchaire stays put then, so he's got faith in Red Bull Ford to deliver him the championship. To be fair, Red Bull, I mean, they wouldn't have wanted to lose Pourchaire because he did such a great job at the end of the season, coming out of nowhere to be so strong. But Colapinto, Franco Colapinto, was alongside him. He's no more. Tsunoda has made the step up to the full Red Bull team. Not for the first time, I think. I think Yuki was in Red Bull before, wasn't he? I think it was unfortunately when they were really terrible in like season 3. So Yuki's having a second shot at Red Bull, but now they're on the up, of course, after last season. But that's interesting. So where's Colapinto gone? Because he was, I think, 86 rated. So he grew into a really, really decent driver. So surely he's landed somewhere okay. Right, are we ready? Are we moving on? We're moving on. Oh, Andretti. So, okay, so we already know this part. We already know who's at Andretti. It's Leclerc and Lawson. But let's see if there's any change at our own custom team that we now, for 2 seasons, haven't been at. Arrow Archer GP. Ooh, Colapinto went to AAGP. Not bad. Not bad. I'm actually really happy for my old team. That's a good sign. If I was at the team, I actually would have gone for someone like Colapinto. On the up, fan favorite. Very, very good choice there. You know what? Didn't we contemplate signing Colapinto before I left AAGP. If I remember correctly, before we actually made the decision to leave and go to Audi, I think we did scout Colapinto. He was on our radar. So I'm kind of happy, and the thought is that the scouting was still there, and after a year they finally went for it and signed Colapinto on my recommendation. So that's that's a huge fan favorite lineup. I feel Kimi Antonelli and Franco Colapinto. Wow, the marketing is going to be through the roof. But I really like our team. Leclerc and Lawson, that's a really good lineup. I like that. It's a mean lineup. It's a lineup I've never dealt with. I haven't, it's been absolute years since I've managed Leclerc or, been his teammate in a career mode or whatever. Same with Lawson. I haven't, really come across him too much in career mode. So, both of them and Andretti as a team, as a brand, it's a very, new experience for me in career modes. But that means Russell then, obviously, Russell's no more. To be honest, he did a really horrendous job versus Antonelli. Like, when you look at their results, I think he had his fair share of bad luck, but there's no surprise why Russell wasn't in the team anymore, because the next two teams are Ferrari and McLaren. Well, we already know one driver that has moved to Ferrari, which is Ollie Bearman. Let's see. I have a hunch that Lando stayed at Ferrari. He did. And no more Hamilton in McLaren. I think that surely might mean it's time. It's now time that he retired. I'm thinking about it. Obviously, we've already had Alonso and Verstappen retire in this series. The fact Hamilton kept going was kind of mad, but I think now I'm going to take a guess, and surely this means Hamilton's retired, because I don't really know where else Hamilton would have gone at this point in his career. So it's Bearman and Lando Norris. Obviously, Lando was already here at the team for a year or so he's already kind of grown with the team. Bearman's coming in as he used to be a Ferrari Academy driver, so that's a really good dynamic there. Very strong lineup, 94-92, that's crazy. McLaren, that's equally a very strong lineup. Don't know where they're going to be, because they really fell off in the second half of last season with Bortoleto and Hadjar, who is now 86 rated. That's very, very strong, but two drivers that are not current F1 drivers, so an all-new, kind of new-gen roster for McLaren now in 2029. Next up, it's going to be Porsche and Mercedes. Obviously, Porsche started off okay in 2028, then they just nosedived, and Mercedes, well, they were just washed the entire time. And their drivers are going to be, it's wow, it's still 2029, and Ocon is still at Porsche, but you know what, he's been rejoined by his old teammate Russell. So Russell left Porsche for AAGP and is now returned a year later back to Porsche. To be honest, I don't know why he ever left. I think he worked well at Porsche. Him and Ocon as a pairing, two very aggressive, known for, tripping over some drivers. Two drivers that work well as a duo, I think, in one team, and one team that I am an arch nemesis of Porsche. Mercedes, that's an interesting lineup. Having lost Piastri, of course, because it was Piastri alongside Doohan, this is another all-new generation lineup then at one of these teams. Zane Maloney, 82 rated. That's really decent to say that's his debut stat in Formula 1. And Jack Doohan, 85. Didn't really have much of a chance to show what he's made of. Let's see where Merc kind of are on the R&D chart this time. Now come to Aston Martin and Williams. Two teams that were very quiet last season, so it's going to be a case of they need to kind of, upgrade significantly for us to maybe even see who these drivers are going to be, but you never know, Let's see. Very, very wild, different pairing there. Van Dorn, that's a blast from the past. Stoffel Van Dorn, 73 rated. I guess Williams didn't have anyone else to choose from. Luke Browning, who I think is actually a real-life Williams Academy driver, so they've promoted from within Williams there, Luke Browning. Again, though, these two teams, they really were just nowhere last season along with Mercedes, so are we going to see a lot of them? Who knows? But Gabriel Mini alongside Gasly, that's kind of cool. It's cool to see Mini get his debut in Formula 1, and also Browning as well, obviously. Like I said, from the Williams Junior Academy, I believe, in real life. And then the final team is Haas. Again, rock bottom, so whether these two drivers will even see them much is to be seen, but it's going to be Alexander Albon, and Vesti. So we really have, we have really departed from some major recognizable names on the grid. This is really like a proper new generation grid of Formula One right here. But Albon and Vesti, they've got their work cut out, especially now they're not the only American team in town. We're here, and we're going to completely outshadow them, I hope. To be honest, the fact that we've got this little money in our bank account, less than $1 million right now, is actually genuinely concerning me. Really quite a lot. But that is the grid of F1 in 2029. I think really, really strong, Audi, Red Bull, AAGP, us, I'm hoping. Ferrari, very strong lineups. McLaren, I would say as well, but we don't know how their car is going to be. And to be honest, Porsche and Mercedes, even if they're, worse off still, they're very competitive with each other, maybe, in terms of lineup. So, let's see. So, for 44 days, other teams can upgrade, but I can't. For 44 days, we've got to sit here and just watch us be less than $1 million. And every other team's probably been able to upgrade their car. It's not looking good. Also, how much are we paying these guys? Maybe this is the reason why we're not good financially. Ha 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 ha! 50. We are paying Leclerc. We are paying Lord Percival 52 million a year. Oh my God. We better have some American venture capitalists footing the bill for this, because well, we know it's not. It's coming out of our bank account. No wonder we've got no money to play around with. Meanwhile, Lawson is on a much more sensible 11 million. It's still quite a fair bit, I forgot to look, though. What are our facilities like, though, actually? That's also something I should have taken a look at here. Okay, not too bad. Factory level 3, design 4. Wind tunnel, CFD simulator 1. Wind tunnel 2. Why have we got better car part test center and suspension than CFD simulator? Okay, so we need to sign a new head of aero. We need to get a better CFD simulator. What are we looking at in terms of, okay, we've got a team hub that needs refurbing, race simulator refurbing, scouting department, I don't really care about. Operations, does this team at least have a boardroom? That's actually maybe the burning question a lot of you will be asking. And they do have a boardroom. It's in need of some repairs. Hospitality area level 5, okay. Tour center, okay, go off. Weather center level 1. That's not how I like that. I like a good weather center so we can see, when it's a wet race, we can really try and outsmart people. Level 1 is very low. But the problem is, I've got so much desire to improve this team in so many areas, but we literally have no money. Like, this is going to be... Do you understand how difficult this is going to be to do anything? I can't do any... I'm just sitting here. Okay, fair enough. We've got a race engineer growing to level 88. That's great. But I can't do anything on car development. I can't afford anything. Like SidePod, the thing that we're worst at. Can I even afford to? No. Blocked. Like, Andretti may have bought Alpine's slot, and you may have been thinking, oh, that means we're going to start with a really decent car. I think, factoring in the fact this team didn't do any SidePod research, and the fact we've got no money right now to improve the car from wherever we are, we may as well have just, this Andretti may have well just started from scratch, like a new team, rather than buying Alpine, because I'm not going to have any funds to do anything until about, I don't know, a quarter into the way of the season. Like, there's nothing going on in this timeline right now. Staff survey. Leclerc, very unhappy. Liam, very unhappy. Race engineer, very unhappy. No one, everyone is very unhappy. Everyone is clinically depressed. I think I'm going to be clinically depressed in a minute. Oh, we have over $1 million. We have over $1 million. Please, quickly. Design a side pod. We must. Use all the... We only have enough money for one upgrade. This is the sticks. We only have money to design one part in this ATR period, so we may as well use it all on one side pod upgrade, because this team did no research on it last season. I mean, it's gonna be pretty damn big. Plus 12. Oh no, we were 19th on high speed. Oh no. I'm very, very worried. I'm very, very worried about how bad this car is. We don't have the money for overtime. We actually don't. We actually don't have the money for overtime. When's Vegas? It's in March. Okay, we can wait. We can wait till the 25th of Feb. Okay, race engineers grown to 88. Good stuff. Please bring me this next sponsor review. Please. I desperately need some money. We've designed one really good side pod that will take us from the absolute mud to hopefully something that's at least not too bad, I reckon. Right. Can we... Oh, no. I can't even afford 2 side pods right now. I can only afford 1. Unbelievable. We're cooked. We're actually... The season hasn't even started yet. And we're absolutely cooked. Is this what F1 were trying to warn Andretti about? Oh, no. All right, we can do another side pod then. We've got a bit more money now. We need a spare as well. Oh, God, my God. Lord, Lord, Lord. 1 spare side pod, that is. Oh, God. Right, well, on the calendar, the next ATR period is has come and gone. And the preseason testing results are here. In the email format, but it's really hard to really tell what's going on from the email format. So I think now is the time to check out the R&D chart and see what is what. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. What? How? Where? What? What's happened over the winter break? Oh, my days. I don't know how entirely accurate this is, but if this is accurate, oh, my God, this major technical regulation change is giving me, like, 2009 F1 vibes. Like, just F1 turned on its head in many ways, because McLaren, well, obviously they were a top team before in this series, but last season they were washed. They really fell off. The same with Porsche, but they both catapulted up. Williams is the bigger story, up to 3rd ahead of Ferrari. Aston Martin, I was talking about Aston Williams. We're not going to see a lot of them. They're up the order. Red Bull and AAGP, the 2 teams fighting for a drivers' championship, and Audi constructors, all in the mid-pack, 6, 7, 8. We're in 9th. And by the way, remember, 9th place, and we've got no money. We've got no money right now to improve the car. Hardly. Mercedes, they're so washed that they're still behind us. That's hilarious. And Haas are still at the bottom. So we're not the worst American team in Formula 1 right now. But I don't know what I expect. Well, you know what I expected? I expected Red Bull and AAGP to still be up there. Maybe even Audi. I didn't expect them to have a fall off like that. Like, I knew the regulation change was big, but I just assumed they'd be putting, like, a lot of research into stuff. But clearly Williams put the most research into it because they were one of the worst teams. They really made a step up. Same for Aston Martin as well. They put so much research into this year's car. Maybe we should have seen it coming because they were nowhere at the end of last season, not even improving. So this is where all their funding went into. But we have got a task and a half. Honestly, the target of 2031 to get this team to win a championship may be accurate basing off this. Depends on if we can actually start getting some more money in, which is going to be difficult, I feel. I just... Bloody hell. Well, we're going to have a very interesting season on our hands. Guys, if you have enjoyed the preseason here for 2029, what a season we're about to have on our hands, apparently, here, according to this. Guys, if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.